Hey guys, everything new on the sun here. I want to talk to you about feed, but first I got a little update here. This is my wood for my next chainsaw wood bench, chainsaw furniture bench. Went to a friend's and we cut down a whole tree. This is was it a fir tree or something? A pine of some sort. Anyways, I don't know my trees or my wood, but anyways, this will create one bench. I'll use up most of this, I think. I should have that video upcoming. It's similar. It's going to be similar, but a larger bench, obviously, than my first bench video. So what I want to show you today is an easier way to get cheap feed. And I thought I had it figured out the first time, but I was unaware of an even easier, straighter method to get cheaper feed, and it's in the form of scratch. So I will see you in the shed when we get there. Here's all the chanticleers walking around. The sun's coming out today. This is an update on the broody hen. She is not so broody anymore. I think she's pretty much given up. I had her locked in there. Yeah, I don't see her. I think she's given up. She took off, and she's over there somewhere in the manure pile, scratching for food. But she didn't like maybe the move to the new location, and she hasn't been sitting on the eggs. I felt them. They're not warm at all. Yeah, she's got eggs in 2 locations now. There's no nest. You can see there's no nest at all set up, and which is unfortunate. You can see the egg. I don't know if you can see it. Egg right there. These are all the eggs that she sat on. She sat on them for a couple of days, but then she got bored of them. So that's unfortunate. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to remove those eggs because they're just not viable anymore. And maybe she'll get broody again, but for now I'm not going to worry about it. I got my Brentzy incubator going. That's part of the fun. You never know if they're going to stay broody or not. So that rooster's stuck in there. I'll open this door here. You should be able to get back. There we go. There, now he can get out. So yeah, these guys are having lots of fun scratching. So unfortunately, the broody bird is no more. Such is life. Learning as I go. Alright guys, here we are. This is the new, I'll put this up here so you can see it. This is the new cheap chicken feed. What's new about it? Well, not a whole lot. But you'll remember that I did a video about the cheap chicken feed. It's got a lot of hits. And what I was doing was I was buying bags, individual bags of corn, cracked corn, barley, and wheat. And come to find out, of course I didn't ask the right questions, you can get a bag that's already mixed with cracked corn, barley, and wheat, and it is just called scratch. It's their scratch mixture, and that is exactly what I was getting, and the price is very comparable. Per bag I was paying about $12, $13. For this scratch, it's just under $14 for the scratch. So instead of buying the individual bags of ingredients, you just buy the scratch and it's all mixed together for you. Now you can add, if you get the individual bags like I have in this freezer here, then you can add some more ingredients in there, more seeds. But this, I think this would be fine, especially in the summer when they can forage their own food. This will be enough to, give them some sustenance, so they're not starving. But then they should be able to forage the rest of their own food. So I got 2 bags in here, 2 bags of what's called scratch. And I think it's just as cheap as getting, individual bags, like a 40 kilogram bag of corn, cracked corn, a 40 kilogram bag of wheat, 40 kilogram bag of barley, or whatever else, oats. I think this is oats, wheat, and corn, not barley in there. So you could add in barley if you want. So you have a bit more options if you want to get the individual bags, but hey, for the price, this is just as cheap as getting the individual bags, and they mix it for you. So I think this will probably be my new go-to, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll get some other grains to mix in there, but I certainly can't complain about the price. 40 kilograms for, I think, $13.50, or under $14 Canadian anyways, which isn't bad. And this one bag will feed them for a month anyways, for sure, for a month. And they'll do fine. Like, it doesn't need to be, you can otherwise buy the 15 or 19% later, which refers to the protein level. If they're out and about and they're scratching and foraging, then they don't need to. They're fine. They're going to survive. They may not get as much protein as a 15% or 19% mix, but hey, they're heritage birds. Maybe they're not going to lay quite as often, but that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. We get not too many eggs, but we get plenty of eggs from our birds, so I don't need to increase their production by any stretch. So I'm happy the way it is, and that is a real cost-effective alternative. I mean, the only way to get cheaper food, it's hard to beat $14 for a 40 kilogram bag of feed. That pretty much does all they need, especially if you can get them out to your foraging. The only way to beat it is if you grow your own, but then, how much gas are you spending to go and plow up and grow a field and harvest a field and thresh a field? Are you going to be able to grow and harvest and thresh 40 kilograms of seeds for $13, $14? Probably it's going to be tight on a small scale, I would think. If you're a big scale farm, then yeah, you're doing it anyway, so some of that seed goes to your chickens and the rest goes to your other livestock. But when you're on a small farm, a couple of acres or something, then that is not necessarily sustainable. Like I say, it's going to be hard to beat your $14 40 kilogram bag of feed. So I don't know, that's where that's where I'm at right now for feed. And like I say, as long as they can get to grass and bugs and worms out here, I'm not too worried about the protein content in it, or whether it's, quote, balanced. When they're out foraging, they will balance their own diets. They'll eat what they need to, basically. So that's your update on cheap chicken feed, and that's where I'm at right now. And if I find something new, then I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Well, guys, in other news here, it is officially end of sap season. So I'm just going over to the tree. I already pulled off the hoses the other day, and I guess they are dripping today. But I'm stopping for the year. I've got maybe 2 liters in four different bottles. That's enough for me. They're not going very hard right now. It was below freezing last night, so they are going a little bit now. But like I say, I'm done. I've got enough, and I'm gonna let the tree take a break. So what I gotta do next is pop these out, and I gotta plug them. You can see other plugs from previous years here in here. So I'll break a piece off some of the branches here, and something that's the same size, and jam them in. So I did a video before about how to actually plug them, but that's what you do. You just break branches off and jam them in. Just kind of plug the hole, and then the tree heals around the plug. There's actually 3 there, 1, 2, and 3. So there you go. So I'll pop these out and plug them up. There we go. Oh, didn't want to go. Alright, so I'll see if I can find some branches to jam in there and get it done. There you go. It's got a simple plug in there, just broke off the end. Now it's plugged. It's plugged. Yeah, that was plugged. It's not an absolute seal, but you're just kind of blocking it, giving the tree. You don't want bugs and stuff to get in there, so you kind of block it off, you know, as much as you can or whatever. And that'll be it. And then we'll get some new holes drilled next year. Start all over again. I never get enough to provide enough syrup for the year for our family, but I get enough for it to be a fun hobby. And yeah, that's it. I'm calling that the end of the 2016 maple syrup season. And it was good. Got lots of great sap from the tree. The tree does really well. So another good season in the books. And I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.